Welcome everyone to another meetup, friends and family. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Vivian. I am basing out of La Mesa, California, just a few miles out of San Diego. I am today with my team of co-hosts, and we'll be addressing about skincare. And as you know, skincare is very important to all of us, regardless your gender and whatever age, because skincare is our protection layer. So we always have to pay attention to it. And I would like to introduce a couple of my co-hosts that will be sharing their stories. And first, we'll begin with Polly Grace. Then we'll go on to Carol Lee, then Soraya. Next, we have Debbie, and then we will have Lillian to share the stories. Please proceed. Thank you.
That means I'm the one talking now, is it? Hi, everybody. For the ones who don't know me, my name is Polly Grace Fonse, and I am based in Amsterdam, and I have a pro for business with a great team here. So I started about almost 6 years ago with PROTANDIM, and I got some amazing results of that. But that's not the talk we're having now. But also in the beginning that I started with the products, I also started with the skincare. And one of my colleagues or my friends said to me, she didn't see me for a long time, and she said, "What happened to you? Because you're glowing." So that's the time that I noticed that the skincare was working. So because of that, I decided, because I have keloids on my chest, and I decided to use it on my chest because I wasn't thinking about that. So I decided to use it on my chest. I think you saw the pictures, and I will show you a little bit. I hope you can see. Hold on. It's not to be seen anymore, but keloid is like scarring, and it's thick, and it scratches. It's itchy, and so I decided to use that. And I didn't think it was going to help, but I thought, well, if it worked for my skin, it might work for my scarring. And every time I had a shower, I would slather number 1 on it. After the shower, I would slather number 2 on it, and after that, number 4. And I didn't pay attention anymore. I even threw away the pictures I took in the beginning. But then later on, I was like, hold on, I never itch anymore. It doesn't hurt, because the itching, it's also hurting. I mean, if you saw the pictures, you saw the very brown way. It's even, the color is different now, and it's really very low, very flat. Before, I had to go to a dermatologist, and she would shoot stuff in it, and it would go down for a little bit, and it would come up again. This is, after a couple of years, the lowest part it is. It's never come back. So for me, that's all the power of using the activation from the inside, but also using the activation on the outside. So I hope somebody can work with that and share this with somebody who has keloids, because I know it's not only on dark skinned people, but also white skinned people have that as well. So I would say just go for it. So thank you very much, and thank you that I can share this part.
Hi, I'm Carol Lee Gould. I'm in Morriston, Florida. It's like summer here. I can't believe it. It was nearly 90 today. Some of you guys don't want to hear that. But so about 4 years ago, I started with taking the PROTANDIM products. I just started swallowing them, taking them internally. And then probably Lillian introduced me to the skincare. So I started with all the skincare, and my history is I'm from Miami. I love the beach. I'm a horse person. I'm always outside. And now I have 20 acres and I maintain it myself. That means I'm even more outside. And I started using the skincare. But before that, I was regularly having to go to the dermatologist, regularly having things cut from my skin, and not just from my face. It was anything that was exposed to the sun. And I don't, that's just, anyway, it was big holes in my face because of what was happening to my skin. And I started using the skincare. I didn't know what to expect, except for I really liked it. It felt good. It smells delightful. And lo and behold, since I've been using it and taking the products, I've not had one thing cut off my face. And I was regularly getting things cut off my face, my neck, my chest, not one thing. So I'm delighted. My dermatologist has practically kicked me out of the office, and from every 3 months to 6 months to a year or whenever I get there. And I couldn't be happier with my results. It's a side effect I did not expect. So with everything combined, it just worked fantastically. And thank you for letting me share. I love to share. I love to share what these products do for us.
Thank you, Carolee. My name is Soraya, and I'm out here in Phoenix, Arizona, and we're freezing. I'm freezing. But anyways, I'm excited to share with you guys. So with me, I actually have a little different take on what our products and what activating our bodies can do for our skin. I'm very lazy. I do the least amount possible on my skin, which shouldn't be the case, but it is the case, if I'm being honest. But due to my accidents that I've had through my life, I actually have a lot of scars ranging from 2 inches to a foot and a half, with just all my different surgeries. Didn't even think about taking before pictures because I didn't put any of our amazing skincare on any of my scars. I've had them for my oldest one is 26 years old. They have been for over 20 years. They have been raised. They have been purple and pink, and they've been very, very tender to the touch. I mean, I run into a corner of a table, I run into anything because they're on my legs and up on my backside of part of my buttocks, and it would hurt. It was really, really tender and really sore. It was probably 2 years ago, I was getting ready in the morning and doing my hair, and literally I just remember, like, I was kind of looking around and, okay, so this is recorded. Okay, so anyways, I saw the scar as I'm getting ready, and all of a sudden I just stopped getting ready and I'm looking down and I'm like looking at my scars, and the scars were flat on my skin. They have not been flat for over 20 years. They are 85, 90% of my scars are actually the same color as my skin as well. Again, 20 plus years, no tenderness, and they've even shrunk. I checked them out the other day too, because I'm like, okay, is it still there? Because it's still almost 2 years later, I still keep looking at those scars because they've just been a part of me my whole life. So I often think, wow, what if I actually used our skincare that has shown so many positive results to so many other people? Would it have done it faster? The point is, my body, because I was activating the inside of my body, it was doing that work and doing what my body needed it to do. I don't have zero tenderness, zero, no tenderness at all. And I mean, it's amazing. I love it. I love our products. And I love how when we're activating our bodies from the inside out, the power and what it does is amazing. So super excited. I love that I don't have those scars that pop out when I'm in a bathing suit or anything like that. So it's been great. Thanks for letting me share.
Am I next?
I'm sorry, I think there was one more person before me, right?
I
So-
don't remember if I'm next or
De-
next.
Debbie, you're next.
It was Vandy.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for letting me share my story. I'm so excited to share my story, and I loved hearing those wonderful stories about our products. As a teenager, I suffered from acne. I had brown, splotchy marks on my jawline, real dark, and I would cover it with a base makeup, and I kept it covered for years. I mean, even when I had children, it would just got worse. I would break out. When I would cover it with the base makeup, I would break out, and so the acne was a continual thing. And I tried using cleansers and medications. I even went to the dermatologist. I continued to break out. I had also got sunburned as a teenager quite bad, quite a lot. Anyway, as I went on, it just was something I learned to live with. It was just, I put a base makeup on before I would go outside because I didn't want anybody to see my face, because I was very insecure and very self-conscious of my complexion. In about 2011, I started taking the NRF2 activator, and I used the anti-aging cream a little bit, but not consistently. And in April of 2014, I was so excited when they came out with the whole skincare line. And so I started consistently using the skincare line in 2014, and I used it consistently for probably 4 or 5 years. And one day my mother was sitting by me and she goes, "Debbie, your dark line on your jaw is gone." And I didn't notice because it was so subtle and it happened just really slowly. I just kept using the products and I kept taking the NRF2 activator. I don't know if that's what did it, but that was the only thing I did different. And so when my mom noticed it, it really did make me excited because I had been activating my body for so many years. And I'm thankful for the NRF2 activation, and I know these products are really one of a kind, and I had tried other medications and everything. So I'm thankful for LifeVantage and the activating products to help our skin be and make us more confident.
Hi, my name is Lilian Merida. I'm a dog trainer. I'm in Florida. And I think Seth is going to share some pictures, some before and afters, because the doggies and the cats and the horses can't be here to speak for themselves. We need to be their own best advocates. And I had, like everyone here, just incredible results using these products. I was a little bit like Soraya, like not taking very good care of my skin. But after really, I have a 4-year degree in biology, so it was really the science. And I was like, wow, is this, once I learned what this was doing for the inside of my cells, I said, okay, maybe I should also try it for my skin. And like Carolee said, they smell amazing, they feel amazing. I've never liked products that are like sticky or too with very powerful fragrance, because it gets me sneezing. So I tried the stuff on the dogs also. And so we have some pictures. I don't know, Seth, if you can post them one by one, or if you can allow me to share. I have them on my camera.
Yeah,
Right now,
let me take it off of share and I'll give the share to you, Lilian. That way
okay.
you can.
And then I just look for my pictures and go from there.
Just hit share, and then you can choose where you want to share from.
Okay.
From where you want to share.
Let me see. So I just see security, recording, chat, meetings, minimize meeting. Is it in the more? No.
Bottom of the screen should say, it should say share screen. No?
Oh, there it is.
Let me-
Okay, yay.
okay, you got it?
Okay,
You got it?
perfect. Yes. So. Okay. No, I want the pictures. Okay, so can someone give me a verbal if they see my screen?
Not seeing it yet.
Okay. I
Let me do this, Lillian. I have it up. I'll just throw over here.
okay.
I've got it now. Do you see the picture that I'm sharing? Vivian sees it. Lillian, do you see my?
Hold on, I'm trying to go back to the Zoom.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
go back to Zoom.
Yay, there it is. Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
So-
pictures are the main screen.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay, yeah.
wonderful.
So there you go.
So one of the main issues that dogs go to the vet, like in the top 3, is skin issues. And skin issues are extremely difficult to deal with. And dogs are put on all sorts of medications and elimination diets. And these poor animals suffer, and the owners with the licking and the scratching. And it's just a 24/7, like, unbelievable ordeal for months and months and months. And I'm really worried about the potential side effects of some of these medications that the dogs are put on. So it's just amazing what happens when we start activating. So this is activation from the inside out. And this poor dog, they had tried absolutely everything. And you can see there the difference. I don't know the exact timeline, but this person was dealing for, I think, 2 years, and nothing had happened. So if you want to go on to the next one, you can see it's amazing, the difference. And you can even, in the dog's face, the relief of not having so much inflammation on his skin. So the next one, again, it's a Cocker Spaniel, same story. They've tried everything, and the dogs they literally lick their hair off and create these sores and secondary bacterial infections. Again, before activation, after activation, I mean, these pictures just speak from themselves. Now, activation, NRF2 activation works in all mammals. So these are examples in dogs. The next one is an example in a horse. And these are lesions that appear that are extremely difficult. This is a cat. This is a cat that was a rescue. And when she was found, her leg was broken, so she could not put weight on the little pads of their feet, but was actually using kind of like the knuckle. So this huge sore had appeared, and they had tried everything, even skin grafts, and the vet suggested amputation because they just couldn't make it heal. So my friend approached me. I suggested giving the cat the NRF2 tablet internally, and also using the hand cream whenever, cats are kind of difficult, but whenever she could catch the cat and she would allow it, she would put the skincare. And what I love about these products to put on our animals, they're going to lick it. And knowing that it's perfectly safe, they rate a 0 or a 1 on that Think Dirty app. That is so important for me, knowing that I'm not putting more toxic stuff on them. So this is a few months later, that huge sore had turned into that little spot. It's just almost too good to be true, unbelievable. And then I think the next one is on the horse. And these are these lesions that are very stubborn, and they are treated with, chemically and frozen off and surgically removed, and they just keep coming back again and again and again and again. And extremely frustrating issue. Apparently it's common in horses, especially light-skinned horses, I believe. So this is, again, it's the NRF2 internally to help the body heal from the inside. And what we call number 4 cream, the anti-aging, which is extremely powerful in NRF2 activation. So we use them indistinctively. If it's a small lesion, you can use the number 4. It's a little bit more costly than the hand cream, which is very inexpensive. So if you have large areas of the body that need to be treated, you can use the hand cream as well. And the results, it might take a little longer, but the results are just really, really amazing. So don't forget your four-legged friends with a wonderful skincare line, but also aided with the NRF2 activation from the inside. So that's my story.
Thank you everyone for sharing the product stories. I'm gonna hand the baton to my co-host, Phil, who will be sharing the other part of the meetup.
Hey guys, can you all hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Cool stuff. Okay. I've got a funny accent, just like all of you. But when it comes to skin issues, it's something that's very, very dear to me because I used to, or I still do, have vitiligo. Now, if you don't know what vitiligo is, it's a loss of pigmentation in the skin. So like Michael Jackson, he was black going white. I was just white going a whole lot whiter. So since I've been using the products, I've noticed my skin's repigmenting quicker than it used to. So it's kind of cool. So because anybody who's got a skin condition, I think just like Debbie mentioned, you lose your confidence. It definitely does happen. So anyone who's got a skin condition, treat them like normal. We just look different than the outside. Okay. So I'm going to go through some basic slides and I'm just mindful of time. So I'm just going to maybe some of them I might just sort of fly through, but I just want to share about oxidative stress, NRF2, and talk about the liver and glutathione. So, and also just touch on the patterns as well. So I just find there's so much information. I could be here all day, but I'm going to try to squeeze it in. So if you could just be patient and give me about 10 or 12 minutes and I can go through it. So let me do a quick screen share and can you guys see that? Seth, can you give me a thumbs up? You can see it. Cool bananas. Okay. So product disclosure. Remember, this is not evaluated by the FDA. Basically, it's purely my opinion and what I've researched along the way. And to give you some of our background, I am actually an autoimmune transformation specialist. I help people reverse the symptoms of autoimmune conditions. So when I saw what this does, I was blown away. So I just can't stop talking about it to my clients because it just makes perfect sense what we've got here. In a nutshell, what is oxidative stress? I like to compare it to an apple. So think of the apple as you're a newborn baby, or you put in the apple on the counter, and the cell is healthy and normal. Leave that apple on the counter for a bit longer. Guess what happens? It starts to deteriorate because it's got these free radicals that are slowly attacking it. And eventually, over time, you can start seeing that cell start to get worse and worse and worse. And that's called oxidative stress. So it's a cell that's been attacked by free radicals over a long period of time. Now, what's interesting is that you start to see more, let's say, health challenges caused to oxidative stress because there's all these environmental factors that are causing all these issues. Now, if you look at like the best way I like to explain what is oxidative stress, I don't know if you know little Pac-Man, and think of Pac-Man as an antioxidant, and the free radical is those little bad guys. You know, when the Pac-Man comes along, eats at a round dot, and he runs around faster and he eats up the free radicals, or these guys here. Now, the problem is that there's way too many free radicals, and now your Pac-Man is overworked and underpaid. And now we're starting to age a lot quicker. So this is how I like to keep it really simple, how to explain what it actually does. So we need to find a way to try to reduce free radicals or increase Pac-Man and make them stronger so they can shift the free radicals and therefore, again, slow down the aging process as well. Now, for those of you who may have never seen this here, what I like about it is the science. Because when you dive down to science, it's not my opinion, it's a whole lot of people's research, independent research. So if you go to pubmed.gov, you can actually type in oxidative stress and find a whole lot of studies, peer-reviewed studies on oxidative stress. Remember, it's not LifeVantage's studies, it's other scientific studies. That's a huge deal. And they're saying that if you look at free radical damage and oxidative stress, it's linked to many, many other health challenges. So if we had to go into PubMed, you would actually type in oxidative stress and you'll see there's about 260,000 studies. I think the last time I saw that, I think they're about 275,000. But notice how long they've been starting to research oxidative stress in the last 30 years or so. Still getting more and more studies as we go. So for anyone who's got, let's say, psoriasis, for example, or dermatitis, or any skin condition, any health challenge, you type in oxidative stress, and after that, you can type in, let's say, psoriasis, and you'll see that these 260,000 studies will be less. You can type any health challenge, you start doing it. like I say, we're not making claims here at all. I wanted you to see the other side of it, how you can actually start doing your own research and play around in PubMed. It's a real big deal there. Now, if you think about it, how does actually NRF2 actually work? So work with the Pac-Man. So what NRF2 does, it basically upregulates the Pac-Man. Essentially, can somebody mute? I'm not too sure. There's someone's the line in the background. So here NRF2 basically increases and upregulates Pac-Man. So now Pac-Man has now got a better chance of dealing with the free radicals. And now this can slowly, possibly slow down or reverse one's health challenges or symptoms of them. So that's exactly what NRF2 does. I like to keep it really, really simple. And then go on to PubMed again, type in NRF2, you find nearly 20,000 studies on that. But notice one thing here, NRF2 has only been studied the last 10 years or last sort of 20 years. And the previous slide, we looked at oxidative stress. They've been doing it for 30 years. So now it's nice to know there's oxidative stress, but it's the NRF2 can combat that. It's a big deal. So this is all new technology, as I always like to call it. So, and if you can look at the Washington State University, these guys have actually said, yeah, this is the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. And I like to also go look at the science, take a screenshot of that there, find that number there, that study, and you can actually go look at it for yourself there. So again, these are peer-reviewed independent studies on PubMed. So I don't want to go too much into the science, but I like to just quickly touch on NRF2 PROTANDIM itself. Now, there's lots of information on the slide here, but there's two things that stand out for me here. It lowers oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. We can't say that it lowers oxidative stress and the cause of XYZ condition in 30 days. We can't say that, but we can say it can lower oxidative stress. It's a big, big deal. And it also increases glutathione by 300%, catalase, and superoxide dismutase. Those, you don't have to know those, there's no test at the end, but I want to focus on glutathione. It's a huge deal, this. Now, when we look at PROTANDIM, now, it's not actually classified as a supplement, it's an activator. It's a big, big difference. It's like you're walking in the room, the light's off, and you switch a light on, it's now activated. Where supplementation is just overloading the body and overloading the liver. Now, they've got the ingredients here. There's turmeric, milk thistle, green tea, bacopa, and ashwagandha root. These guys are amazing individually, but when they put them together, they work 18 times more effectively. And the one ingredient I always like talking about is milk thistle. Doesn't give it enough credibility on it because it's linked back to the liver. So I want to touch on glutathione. Now, if you look at the very, very last line there, it says this is from the most important antioxidant is that the body allows to clean up critical toxins. It's huge, 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 this. Now remember, PROTANDIM upregulates glutathione production by 300%. The body's actually making itself, increasing it. Now you can read this quicker than what I can say all of them, but there's the one thing I like to talk about here. Yes, it improves the skin, it helps the liver and detoxifies the cells. But this last one over here, glutathione is actually the guardian of all your tissues. You can actually go look that up on PubMed. Now, if that's the guardian of all your tissues, surely wouldn't we want to make sure our glutathione levels are up? So that we can dive down into the whole discussion on that. But I just want to make you aware what glutathione does. It's a massive, massive deal. And it's basically cleans up critical toxins. But I want to dive a little bit more into the liver. Now, again, there's no test in the end here. But then the liver is an organ that it doesn't get enough credibility. Now, the organ, the liver is basically the size of your head and does over 500 functions. But if you can think of, this is one of your body's biggest filters. So think of a motor vehicle. If the air filter's blocked, if the fuel filter's blocked, what happens? The car splutters, doesn't want to start, doesn't want it to run effectively. So we can take this organ and try clean up the filter or detoxify this organ. You can find everything starts running efficiently. I've seen people who've got cholesterol issues, they've got hormone issues, they start changing, their blood work starts to change. So this is the beauty of the liver. And if you see the very last one here, glutathione is one of the main detoxification pathways in the liver. So if we can actually get the glutathione moving, you start detoxifying the liver and you start cleaning up and making these other 500 functions more effectively. And there's one thing I always nearly forgot to share. We all know that the skin is the largest organ, right? We always get told that. But just remember this one. The skin is also the very, very last organ to receive nutrition. It's the last organ to receive nutrition. So if your liver is toxic, it will express toxins to the skin. So you've got to get the right nutrients in the body. This is why I love the fact of what glutathione does. Also want to touch on the patents, I'm mindful of time as well, is that there are 7 patents at the moment with NRF2 PROTANDIM. Now, great, they've all been shared on the telly, Dr. Phil, PBS, and all these other shows over here, but I love the science. So I went and actually looked at all these patents, and trust me, it's tiny writing and it's cumbersome and super long. And be honest, if it doesn't excite you, you'll find it pretty boring. So I went and looked at these patents. I went onto the US website there, and the first 6 patents, you can see the numbers there. It states there the compositions for alleviating inflammation and oxidative stress in a mammal. A mammal, dogs, cats, pigs, chickens, goats, dolphins, and you and me. Those are mammals. These are patents on there. And there's not, you can't patent the ingredients, but you can patent the formulation and the method. That's what they've done. Now, that to me is a huge thing, because a lot of health conditions are linked to inflammation. So if you can reduce inflammation, maybe you've got a great opportunity to possibly help these skin conditions we've got going on. Now, those are the first 6 patents I looked at. Then I looked at another one, and this one blew my socks off, because this one here, it says there are methods of enhancing antioxidant enzyme activity and reducing C-reactive protein. Now, for those of you who don't know what C-reactive protein is, that's actually an inflammation marker in your bloods. So when I work with clients, I'm always constantly looking at the bloods. What's your CRP levels? What are they doing? There's a couple of other inflammation markers, but that's one of the main ones. So they're saying we have got a patent to reduce C-reactive protein. So we're actually saying we've got a patent to really technically reduce inflammation. When I saw this, I was like, I'm all in, let's go. Because most health conditions have got a massive link to inflammation. So if we can tackle that, I think we're winning. And this very, very last slide I want to share is, how does NRF2 actually work in the cell of every mammal? So essentially what happens for you to, well, there's a nucleus in the cell. Now that nucleus is going to be fed food and oxygen to basically give it energy. That's naturally what it does. And when you do that, your body will automatically produce free radicals. That's a byproduct of eating any food. Does it matter if it's organic or not? It's food. What happens then, those free radicals actually cause inflammation, and they essentially stick on the cell walls. That's what happens. Now, what's very smart about the body, what it does is this NRF2 signal. It goes to the nucleus, rings on the door or knocks on the door and says, hey, Mr. Nucleus, Mrs. Nucleus, we need to now produce some antioxidants. That's the body's natural byproduct. Now, 200 years ago, this worked really well because it's a one-to-one balance, right? But now you've got all these environmental toxins, all this stuff that's going on, and all the stress, everything else. The body now has actually got an overload of free radicals. So now got this off balance, right? So now what happens, this is where PROTANDIM NRF2 kicks in. Basically sends a signal to tell the nucleus to produce more NRF2. So when the body upregulates and makes more NRF, or doesn't make more NRF2, it's a signal that actually tells the nucleus to do it, to actually produce more antioxidants. Now you start seeing there's a balance now. It's now trying to produce more antioxidants. It's not a supplement, it's an activator. It switches things on. So hopefully that makes a bit of sense how NRF2 PROTANDIM actually works within the cell, and that's every single cell. And what I love about NRF2, let's say you've got inflammation in, let's say 50 cells over there, that's huge over that side. If you've got another 60 cells over there, there's hardly anything going on. NRF2 and PROTANDIM synergize will go to where it needs to go. So it doesn't get wasted. It actually goes where it needs to happen in the body. So that's kind of cool. There's so much science we can go into, but this here, if this is not for you, it's not for you. Great for listening to all these stories that you just heard here, and they're phenomenal. If you want to be like someone like, when I looked at this, I want to know more straight away, but the most important thing what I did was I needed to try to feel it. And what I love about the products as well is that NRF2 is actually also in the skincare range as well. So yeah, we're taking NRF2 on the inside to protect the body, but you also want to use NRF2 on the outside to protect the free radical damage as well. So that's me in a nutshell, but I just want to just keep sum it up, really simple. This is an amazing product. It's a game changer. It's nutrigenomics. It's a whole big disruptor in the industry of healthcare and supplementation, what have you. But the big thing is You need to try it before you can basically experience it. Before you become me, become a talky talk, because I'm always sharing this product, always sharing the business opportunity. But please get back to the person who invited you here. And yeah, I can't say anything bad about it. I can say so much amazing things. And for me, it's even having my skin repigment, where I was told that never ever happened with your vitiligo, you're going to turn into a white snowman essentially and not be able to go in the sun. So for me, it's a huge game changer. So anyone's got a skin condition, look at us as normal. We just look different on the outside. We're just the same on the inside. So thanks for letting me share.
Thank you, Phil, for the very detailed explanation about the NRF2 and glutathione, and also the function of the liver. And if anyone has any questions, please get, like what Phil was saying, get back to the person that invited you to this call, and we'll be happy to answer to any of your questions. And with that, Seth, you can stop the recording.